Hello, everybody. Welcome to Got a Problem, Mate podcast. My name's Joey Page. He's Bilal Zafar.
Yeah.
This is the podcast where we solve each other's problems, we solve your problems, we solve our guests' problems, our guests solve your problems. Capiche?
That's good.
Yeah.
Is capiche in there originally?
No, I added that. I ad-libbed that.
Capiche? That's quite good.
So, how are you, mate?
I'm okay. I've found for the third time a white hair in my beard. You got any white hairs?
You can't speak today. You barely could say the word hair then.
Oh, I lost my
White
voice
hair.
the other day.
Oh, I lost my voice last week, a week
What,
before.
from a cold? From
Yeah.
shouting? From
And
going
gigging.
to football quiz boys, right?
From absolutely just gigging.
But why are you losing? You just talk.
Yeah, but I had a cold and it just kept getting worse.
That's bad.
Mm.
You got to rest.
Oh, I can't rest.
You got any white hairs?
No. I got one on my chest.
Do you pluck it?
No.
You just have the one forever.
Well, I've decided not to pluck that one.
Keep
So,
that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Found it.
So what have you?
So you've got how many in your beard?
I had 3, but I plucked
them. Do you
them,
dye
mate.
your
I plucked them.
beard?
Nah. I pluck them.
You do.
And it hurts. From this bit, I cried.
No, you didn't.
Well, not cried like
But it
I
made
was
your eyes
sad.
water a
Made
little
my
bit.
eyes water. It's the same thing,
Like
right?
you're pulling out your nose.
I don't have any white ones in my nose.
So if you're new to the podcast, it's not just me and Bilal talking about our hygiene, though my problem today is slightly related possibly to hygiene. I'm not sure.
I saw a comedian in Edinburgh once do a whole routine about how he can't how do you get rid of your nose hair? Nose hair trimmers exist.
Yeah. Well, thanks
So
for
what-
derailing me, telling the listener what happens on the
How's
podcast.
They know
with
what
that
it is
anecdote.
now.
Okay, do they?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, but it could be a new person with fresh ears.
Fresh ears, all right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, if you've got a problem and you want it to be answered by one of our fantastic guests, all you've got to do is email
gotaproblemmate@gmail.com.
as always at the start of the show, me and you have a little chat about our week.
Yeah.
And then we bring each other a little problem that's happened to us, right? Do you want to start with yours?
With
before
my
we bring our
problem?
guest in? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had a haircut recently. That wasn't the issue. I was sitting I was waiting to have the haircut, right? And I was having anxiety, but it was all right because
were you
the
born?
barber, 91?
Right, yeah, your generation, they get a lot of anxiety.
You
If
get
you're born
anxiety,
in the 80s, I
mate.
don't get anxiety.
You just
I'm
don't
born
know
in the
it's
80s.
anxiety.
No.
You just throw up and you don't know what's wrong.
I don't throw up. I just
You throw up.
I can get a bit tetchy.
Yeah. I was freaking out because like my barber doesn't. Well, this new one turns out it doesn't really talk at all.
Right.
But
what's
that's
his
what I was
name?
freaking out about. I don't know.
Oh.
Perfect. I was scared he was going to ask me what I do. And then I have to explain, so where do you do it? Got comedy on TV, all of that. And I didn't want to do it. Especially with everyone in there listening. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how to handle that. Do I make up a job, but then what if they...
You could end up in a position where your friends, when you befriend them and then, say you invite them to your birthday or something, in a couple of years that you become really good over time, and when do you break to them that you're not a comedian?
That I'm not a comedian?
Yeah. I guess the best way to break it to them is send them one of your comedy videos.
Oh, right. Doing banter.
No, because then they would think you weren't.
No, but it's still me doing comedy because that's subjective. They might think, he's crap, but he gives it a go.
He gives it a go. I find whenever you get into a chat with somebody like a taxi driver or barbers are really bad for it actually. They start telling you who they like, and it's always like they've got the whole canon of comedy history to pick from, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you like Michael McIntyre? I love that Peter Kay garlic bread bit." So I'm not going in there going, "Oh, I'll tell you who my favourite barbers are, Vidal Sassoon. Why don't you have your own range of shampoos, you fucking idiot?" Do you know what I mean?
I'm surprised
we don't do it to them.
You knew a barber?
What, Vidal Sassoon?
Yeah.
I don't know if their hair.
Is that
it's
who's
hair
that?
products.
Hair products.
Yeah. I'm not going, I love Sweeney Todd. Do you know what I mean? But if he doesn't speak, then it doesn't matter.
No, it's been brilliant. But in future, I don't know how to handle these. I think
Well, why don't you just keep
should I
getting
have
the
a
same
fake?
guy?
No, but it's not just the barber, is it? Loads of people do it all the time. Ask what you do.
But with that barber,
Yeah.
how comes it's the first time you've seen him?
It's the first time I've been to this one.
Right. Why? What happened to your old one?
I moved house.
And you don't
And
go
this
back?
this one was closer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you want to? do your problem?
Yeah.
All right.
Mine is related to grooming, I guess. Right? Oh, that's my phone. That's unprofessional, isn't it? Mine's related to... I don't know why this has started happening, right? But only in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've started getting itchy armpits. And I'm not sure if it's like... 'cause I've changed deodorant.
Have you changed deodorant?
I can't work out what the thing is.
What do you use on your armpits?
Nivea for men.
Roll-on?
No.
The spray? Oh, don't use spray.
Why?
The roll-on ones are much better.
No, but the roll-on gives you like sticky...
No, it doesn't.
It does?
No, not all of them.
Oh.
You've not used all the roll-ons.
Of course I haven't.
You need to
I'm
start.
not a roll-on nonce. I do spray.
I'm sorry to any roll-on nonces that are listening.
What, you got to apologise to people that...
Roll-ons
are
better,
nonces.
man. Listen, you use the spray when you're like 14 doing PE.
No, I'm not using Lynx.
You are.
No.
Look at you, you are.
I'm not using Lynx unless I see Lynx Africa, then I might buy it nostalgically.
Yeah. Do you remember Lynx Bullet?
No.
The
Was
really
that a
small
roll-on?
ones. No, they don't do roll-on because that's not manly, is it?
They know where it's at. But I'm not sure if it... Why... Because it's not all the time. Why out of nowhere? I assume it's to do with shower gel or...
What are you using on what shower gel?
What shower gel? I like...
Is it Pound Shop own brand?
Well, it's not a Pound Shop own brand, but it is normally only £1. It's like, like one of those scented, like Radox, like a orange or grapefruit one. So I like to smell citrusy.
That's not
in the
too
shower.
bad. Do you shave your armpits?
No. Do you?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
No, I'm not going to show you.
No, let's have a look.
I'll show you
Why are you shaving
after.
your armpits?
But it's much better.
What do you mean?
For hygiene, it is a lot less stinky. I'm
not a stinky man.
You are.
I'm not. I'm really
smell
not.
You.
Anybody that shares a bed with me, yeah, never complains.
Should we get our guest on?
Yeah, do you want to get our guest on?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain who our guest is? Because I have got, as always, because I prepare, because I've been upstairs preparing for about an hour and a half, and you got here 6 minutes before it started.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and which is why we didn't know what we were doing. I like telling them off on the podcast. Yeah. But you'd think it'd be the other way around, that you would have to tell me off. But
you would.
But
I
know it was going to be like this working.
But I know the guest. You don't know the guest.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Do you want to introduce them, or should I do my introduction, which has got words in it that I don't even understand?
Oh, all right, yeah.
Well, it's just like a list of things he's done.
Yeah.
Why don't we get him in the chair?
No, get him in the chair after you've read his thing. Otherwise, that's awkward, isn't it?
We can see which intro he likes best.
Okay.
Mine or yours.
All right.
Our guest today, very excited to have him on the podcast, is a man who wears many hats, none of them of which I understand what they're made of. He makes bots. He's the co-creator of the beta website, which that's not even how you write it. It's B3TA. He's an internet personality. He's got a book out based on a Twitter account called The Very Best of Fesshole, where people send in their confessions of things anonymously. It's Rob Manuel. How about that?
That's pretty good. Welcome.
Am I allowed to speak now?
Yeah, sure. I'll do mine quick.
Okay.
The internet has always had its characters. And ladies and gentlemen, today we've got one of the best that knows all how to do all the stuff, bots and all, etc. Please welcome Rob Manuel. I was doing it like inside the actor's studio.
Yeah.
Like it's a very serious chat show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually preferred yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can speak now.
Yeah. What
I think they were both absolutely wonderful. Really happy with both introductions. It said beta though, rather than beta.
Beta, is it? See, I've never even said it out loud.
But it is a confusing name. Beta, B3 to B3TA.
Yeah.
It's a mess of a name that I decided 22 years ago, and now I'm stuck with it.
I mean,
you should name things better than that.
I don't think it matters, but I think it says more about me than you that I don't even know how you say. I've never said it out loud. Beta.
Well, the word itself, beta or beta, it's like American versus English pronunciation. So beta is like the more US one. And now with the dominance of internet culture, American pronunciation is dominant, isn't it? Because everyone's learning to speak watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Like y'all.
Yeah, it's like...
Or pandem.
No.
Still not doing that?
No. But he calls the pandemic pandem. That's not.
I'm trying to get
American.
this take off. No, it was just. Don't worry. It's just a callback to another episode, which you can listen to all the episodes online somewhere.
Yeah, well done. Online somewhere.
So, Rob, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
And it's the first time I've ever met you.
Yeah.
You've worked with Bilal before.
Yeah, Bilal got in touch with me, what was it, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was I was doing a show in 2018. That's right. Yeah, for the Fringe. And I wanted to do a show about all that Cambridge Analytica stuff, how they were making all those Russian bots were apparently messing with democracy and stuff.
I've seen some of them on
You saw that show?
Pornhub.
Oh,
Russian bots.
I told you it was crass. I wanted to, excuse me, I wanted to do a thing where I was creating my own bots to fight against those bots, and someone put me in touch with Rob because he's a genius on these things. Because you did a bunch of fun bots already. Yeah,
I'd done things like Clickbait Robot, which was making invented headlines, and I can't remember any offhand, but I just quite enjoy the process of you look at a sentence and then you scroll around different nouns into it, and then if one makes you laugh, you've made a joke out of thin air. It's quite a fun process to do.
It was great. It was really fun doing it as well. The show itself did fine because it turns out nobody cares about Russian bots.
I really loved that show.
Well, thanks.
The first one of yours that I saw.
Oh, yeah. But as a thing, nobody really cared about that news story.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But the show was great. And also, I should mention...
I made you a specific joke that you didn't use, and I was like...
Which one was that?
It was the time waster one. Shall I talk that one through?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, go for it. Because I saw some of them in there, so I would like to see why yours didn't get in ahead of some of the ones that did.
Okay, because the one I tried to get you to use was like I made this little bot because you're working in this sort of like political context of sort of anti this sort of extreme right wing, and there was this guy called Paul, Prison Planet Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
guy.
Yeah, and so I found people replying to him using code. And then it would reply to them, but only using 1980s sitcom catchphrases. So it'd be like, look at the mucking ear. And then if they replied, it would go, you dirty old man. It would just go on. And the game was just sort of like coming back a day later and seeing if it had caught someone. And so they would be replying, and they hadn't twigged that this was just an idiot bot wasting their time.
Right.
And so I thought that would work well in a show, because then you could do the reveal, with a load of impersonations of the 80s
But
catchphrases.
we had sitcom characters, but we didn't do those catchphrases. Yeah. But at the time, when we were doing those, I came over to your flat. You were working on a little side project.
Yeah. You came over the day I was messing around with this idea, which then went on to be Fesshole, which was just simply off the back of one of the bots I did this bot called Swear Clock, which was just giving you a time check on the hour. And the first version was just sort of randomized swears. So if it was like bloody hell, it would be like shitting heck or whatever, Actually, to reverse the randomized, there's the great Viz thing, which is Big Dog's Cock. Have you ever seen that? There's rude Kid. There's a character called Rude Kid. And the character says very rude things. And so one of his phrases he shouted out once was like, the mum was going, oh, have you polished your shoes, dear? And he's like, Big Dog's Cock. And that's the entire little setup.
That's the whole.
That's your kind of thing.
Yeah, it's great. It's brilliant.
Well, it sounds like it reminds me a bit of. I've never read Viz, but a bit of Modern Toss, which I love.
Viz is very downwind of Modern Toss. Yeah. Anyway, so Big Dog's Cock, as a phrase, you can randomise it. You could say big, humongous, large, small, little, dog, cat, hyena, cock,
giraffe.
Yes, cock, penis, fallopian tube.
Flaps.
So you'd get humongous giraffes, fallopian tubes from the randomizer.
Yeah, right.
It's 10 o'clock. And that was how it ran for a while, and I quite enjoyed it. But after it had been going for like 6 months, I was getting a bit bored of it. And so just one day I threw it out to the public and I said, type in some swears into this Google Doc. And people just put thousands and thousands in. And then another friend of mine said to me, I love that document. I just sort of sit there at work reading it. It just makes me happy. And I thought, maybe if I did something where a bit more about people submitting stuff. And so then I thought, okay, confessions. Mm-hmm. That's an easy thing. That's an anecdote. Maybe that'll work. And it just works stupidly well.
Yeah.
And now it's got
And
it's nearly 1 million, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 891,000.
Did you ever think you'd do anything that?
No, I didn't think it'd be that big. No,
I guess
I think
because
it'd be about
the
10,000.
stuff you do is kind of weird. So like
Yes.
to go that mainstream must be weird, right?
It wasn't the intention, but sometimes ideas take off, don't they?
Yeah.
Can I just go back a bit? So
yeah.
How did you? Because obviously, like I can see very clearly, and of course, it's not just about like monetizing stuff and whatever, but see very clearly how that Twitter account has become a book, right? But how did you? Did you just start doing these things because for fun? And what was you doing? Not for fun, that was making you so bored that you wanted to do these things. Well, but how did you get?
Okay,
and where did you come from to get to this point?
Okay, so I was already in the context of making fun internet stuff. So from it's all I've kind of done as an adult, really. And so, like, if we go back 22 years, I was working at a web design agency, and then I was very frustrated by it because how I always saw it, going back to books, was like at web design, you were always arguing about the font or the size of the margins, and you weren't talking about the words, which is the main reason anyone ever would enjoy a book or a thing anyway. And I found it annoying. And then along the way, I saw, it's still in the days you have magazines, or magazines were still popular, and Q magazine had a little like websites of the month, and it had this thing that said Pop Bitch, which you might have heard of. And it only launched a few months ago, so this is like summer 2000. And I read it, and it was just a simple email, but it was absolutely really funny, really engaging. And I was like, those people have got it right. Rather than worrying about the look of it, it was just like, make the look quite simple and get the words good. And so I sent them fan mail, and the guy running it was a guy called Neil. And he invited me in to, and it turned out he was the editor or the sub-editor of, assistant editor of Heat magazine for this large magazine company. And he was like, well, my bosses at EMAP have enjoyed what I've been doing Pop Bitch, and they've said start a new department where you can explore these ideas. And so he said, come in and help us invent the new stuff. And so under that thing, we took the ideas of Pop Bitch, but I twisted it to be about internet culture instead of being about pop music. And that became Beta. But then 9/11 happened. It's all that long ago. Oh. The planes crashed into the tower, and there was this big meeting at EMAP where they said, pull funding for the world's changed, pull funding for all this, everything.
What would you say that your job is when people ask?
Isn't this what you were saying earlier?
Yeah.
I've
a good person to ask.
No, I've never solved this one either. And for years, I was able to say, I just do stuff on the internet. And when the internet was a bit more obscure, that was enough to shut people down. They weren't interested. But now the internet's taken over the entire world and is the world, then you can't just say that anymore. They're going, well, what do you do on the internet? And I run projects. I just try and head people off, really, because I hate talking about. I don't mind it, obviously, if someone knows what I do and then chatting about it in detail. But you just end up looking mad when you start describing, well, I've run this I've run this confessions account on Twitter. I write a weekly newsletter that I've done for 20 years. And I say yes to anyone emailing in offering me some sort of paid work. So,
what's the weirdest thing you've been offered?
Well, I know the one that's probably the most disastrous was that I found myself in the position of directing 3 effectively TV ads for Virgin trains. And I was just out of my depth. And it was ended up meant to be me and Ben Wheatley, who went on to be a famous film director, and a friend Joel. And I just sort of hung around in the room while Ben Wheatley directed it, whilst feeling just terrible.
So what was your role meant to be in that?
I was meant to be the director or co-director.
But you just sort of like hung around.
I hung around nodding.
So a bit like your part in this podcast, Bilal. Just hang around at the side.
Yeah, making it worth watching.
Yeah, that was the most out of the depth I've ever been.
Yeah.
Do
you actually? Something I was thinking of asking you is, do you must have, because your job is random. It's not one thing. You must have a lot of imposter syndrome. Is that a thing?
You look at me and you think, there's a man who's got a lot of imposter syndrome.
I'm going to say Rob looks like he does exactly what he does. Okay. It looks like he messes around on the internet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can look at the bags under my eyes and go, there's a man who's spent too much time staring at a computer screen.
I'm surprised at the way you're sitting, like, because most people that sit at desks all day.
Am I okay?
No, I mean, like,
my
no,
posture's
you've got your
all right.
leg right up and like
Okay.
quite flexible. Someone that sits at their computer all day.
But you probably end up sitting at your computer most of the day. Like if you work as a comedian, there's a lot.
I'm literally driving all the time.
Oh, okay, so
I'm
you're just off
basically
to
a
gigs all the
glorified
time.
lorry driver, essentially.
Okay.
So I've got no.
You drive a lot now.
Yeah.
It's always off somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's just endless gigging, trying to get to all those locations.
Yeah, because you work out that when you've done sort of a 12-hour day driving and to the gig, doing the gig, coming back from the gig, and petrol and stuff, you work out you made about £16, and you think, well, I better go and do that every day. There must be a better way of doing it, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're saying imposter. I do feel imposter syndrome. The fact that I've done gigs off the back of Fesshole.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they've been all right. You know,
but they've been sold out, haven't they?
They've been.
Are you doing something at Leicester?
I did it on Saturday. Yeah.
At Leicester Comedy Festival.
Yeah. I played the Y Theatre, and so it was big. It was 300. Well, for me anyway, it was 300 people.
We can't do that.
Yeah. You're not allowed.
We're not allowed. He's been doing comedy for ages. And he's not
allowed. Not allowed at that particular festival. Or...
No, the Y Theatre. We do.
I have done the Y Theatre actually.
We do. Have you?
Yeah.
Not a solo show.
Not a solo show.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not allowed.
So
that
gives me a bit of imposter syndrome because it's like I haven't paid my dues or anything, and it's like suddenly there is an audience because the Twitter account's large, and also it's funny, and it's not funny because of me. It's funny because the public's funny.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so I'm working in that, and the show's funny, but I'm working through other people's funny jokes.
It's a bit like when improv troupes take someone else's work and then go, "We've made a show." No, you haven't.
Yeah, it's as bad as that. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Do you, with running the Fesshole?
Yeah.
You must have obviously. So do you look through each submission? Do you?
Yeah.
To make sure nothing dodgy gets in.
Well, more than dodgy. And so between 200 and 400 submissions come in every day, and it goes into a big Google spreadsheet, and I just page down going yes or no, or then edit some of them for, I'll never change the meaning, but I might adjust the phrasing so that the funny bit lands at the end, like comedy editing on stuff, or fix a bit of spelling, So I read every single thing. There's been over 6.5 million words submitted. I can't remember how many confessions, between, I think, 150 or 200,000 confessions, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything?
How much of your day does that take up?
Yeah.
Well, it takes up as much as I let it take up because it's very easy for me to sit there sort of apathetically reading it and then checking Twitter and then sort of like playing some music, and I can let it take all day. But what I've been trying to do recently is doing that thing of there's some kind of work method where you block 25 minutes.
Oh, the Pomodoro. Everyone loves Pomodoro.
Yeah, and it's really been helping with this.
Do you want to explain to the nerds that don't know, that are watching this, that don't know what Pomodoro is?
It's just doing a chunk of work in a certain amount of time, right? But doing as much as you can within.
But do you know why it's called the Pomodoro?
No.
I think because when originally it was the amount of time it takes to make a Pomodoro pasta sauce.
Oh, okay.
I hate that.
You're welcome.
Time it takes to kill one of those little Pomodoro dogs. Throttle it. Their life dies. But that's
imagine that was where it came from.
But it's been really helping me because it means you have to focus and go, right, okay, bang, 25 minutes. Don't do something else. Just burn through it. And in 25 minutes,
you can do a lot in 25 minutes.
Yeah, you can burn through.
Sometimes you can do too much.
You can basically make a day's worth in 25 minutes, give or take. Because it's all queued up in the system.
How often do they tweet?
It's once an hour, like 16 times a day. But it's also not the only account I've got to do it to because there's a non-opin that works in the same way. But that's much quicker to work through because that's opinions, and it's somehow easier to go yes and no to an opinion than it is to sort of finally judge the comedic value of a confession. And then there's swear clock as well.
You sometimes have some quite sad stuff on Fesshole. Does that take its toll on you a bit? Do you ever get a bit down? There's some quite sad.
Well, I mean, I let it through on the basis that I think, it comes in, but also I think
it's content.
It's content. But
content.
And actually, the sad ones do really well. If you there's a way of like doing a search on Twitter that gives you the most fabbed content, and it's the sad ones that do the biggest numbers.
It's like a Ricky Gervais sitcom.
Yeah.
Afterlife, isn't it?
But I don't.
Have you got a favourite?
Okay. There was one I remember enjoying, which was a bus driver writing it. And he was saying that how he gets through a hard day is that, so he's there driving his bus and he's got his little mirror just there and he looks up and goes, "You're all cunts, aren't you?" And then he pops the brakes and so that all their heads go like that. So that's my absolute favourite. I did think about adjusting the swearing on that. I forgot. So making it James Blunt or something.
I went through some.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be good to just have some of them. And this was just like 2 days ago, when I was looking at it on that day. These are just from. I thought maybe I'd read some out, and we can. I've got some topics for discussion leading off the back of them.
Okay.
Right, like it's kind of like seeing if we can get you to confess to anything related to it. So this one. I have 2 toothbrushes, one to clean my teeth and the other to scrub the lime scale and gunk around the taps. Sometimes I accidentally put toothpaste on the wrong one, but can't be asked to waste it, so carry on brushing anyway. Now, what I want to get from you two is a little confession. What disgusting thing do you do when nobody's around like that?
I'm not sure.
And I'll start. And I didn't. I can't stress enough that I didn't do this, right? But I thought about it. I was quite drunk, right? And I went for a piss. And I got a bit on the seat. And there was no toilet paper, but there was toilet paper in the cupboard. And I thought, I can't have to go to the cupboard, get a new toilet paper. And I thought,
I almost want to jump in on this. So
if
that
I
is your sock.
Use my sock, but I didn't. I went and got it, but
I don't have any of these.
You're never a bit disgusting. Yeah. The thing about shaving your armpits is weird and disgusting.
Weird. Yeah, but it's.
What
I don't think it's
disgusting.
Look, I don't want to talk
just to make yourself more aerodynamic or something.
It's nice.
Oh yeah.
When did you start shaving your armpits?
When I stopped liking it. I don't know.
I mean, it's unusual. It is unusual. So there was a process that happened, and you went, "I'm going to do this."
It's I don't know. I think I just maybe I just tried it once for a laugh, bit of fun.
Yeah, fair
enough. And I like it better, and I find it less smelly. And what's wrong with your armpits? They burn.
No, it's just a bit itchy.
Just a bit itchy.
But I don't know why, because I can't work.
Too hairy.
No, I'm not that. I'm not a very hairy guy.
Do you have advice about Joey's itchy armpits?
I've got a horrible itchy back, and I haven't solved that at all. Right. You know, I itch. I'm slightly allergic to pets, and my dog makes me itch, and so I'm always popping antihistamines.
Yeah, I don't have a pet or.
You have a cat salad dog?
Cat salad dog.
Cat salad dog?
I've got 2 dogs, 2 cats.
2 dogs, 2 cats.
Yeah, I nearly offered up as a problem today, but was that one of the cats has got quite fat. And what could we do about that? But my partner has now actually solved it today. Well, the cat's not instantly thin, but she's bought this cat feeder off the internet, you know. So instead of putting it in the bowl, where the cat can just go, I've eaten my food, fuck off. It's like a puzzle. Yeah. So you put the thing at the top, and the cat's got to sort of knock them down, like a whole kind of helter-skelter to actually eat.
And if it doesn't eat.
Yeah. So it's a bit of
not
exercise.
Only fat, but now dumb.
But it's a bit of exercise, and it's sort of like they eat slower, and it uses their brain, you know, and that's all good. Yeah. So we've solved that one.
That's how Joey is.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'd like it if somebody was controlling my portion sizes and I had to do a little game to get it out. It'd be nice.
Knocking it down like a cat.
I wonder if we've just started a business there.
Making these products for adults. Yeah. I need it too, because I've got lockdown put, you know, it's a considerable amount of weight on me.
But just being at home and having a fridge. The only way I've come up with solving it is not having any food in the house. If I want to eat, I have to go to the shop. But you can't really do that when you live on your own. So, you know.
Yeah.
Right, this one. I visited a kebab house with a friend one night who was a copper, and they give him a huge discount. They assumed I was a copper too. Now every time I go in there, I get that discount. Problem is, they ask things like, "You're not on duty tonight," and I have to act all copperish.
Man.
My question is, have you ever pretended to be someone that you're not? And you can't say a comedian.
Yeah, I think I have. In fact, it wasn't. I've lied about. So when someone's asked what I've done, I've gone down the path of being like writer. And I didn't want to say comedy writer, so I said football, which I'm not at all. but I'd like to be.
What you said? You're
I'm like a football
writer.
journalist or something. Right. Yeah. So that's a lie. That's bad.
But you've never used it to like get in somewhere or get something.
Oh. No. What have you been doing?
Huh?
What did you do?
Well, I do these presenting jobs, like team building, presenting things, right? And there's always like food for the delegates, whatever, which I'm not part of because I'm in a suit. No one knows if I am or not. So I'm always like, but I feel bad because the other people, the event staff, they're all in T-shirts that say like the name of the event or whatever. So they can't get away with it.
Don't feed this event stuff.
So whereas I'm like, I'll just nip in here, have a coffee, sitting over there where I'm not supposed to be.
But what are you getting? Coffee,
donuts, lunch,
3-course.
Yeah, sometimes 3-course breakfast.
But there's a lot of food to go around.
There always is, yeah. But that's a different.
That's not too bad.
No, but that's just the one I was thought of off the top of my head. I had a mate who got into an Australian music festival by wearing like a high vis and wheeling a bin, and his mate was inside the bin. So that's a good one.
I've lied about my age once, like to get a job. I mean, I was much younger, loads younger, and I was like, I think I was 14. And I was bored one summer holiday, and I wandered around the local shops and said, could I get a summer job? And this little framing shop said, sure, you can work here for the summer. How old are you? And so I said, like, I'm 16. And they were like, oh, yeah, great. You know, we can't employ you if you were younger than that. I was like, yeah, I'm 16. And that was fine. I got away with it. Except then as time went on, it came to like the GCSE exam results, and I had to sort of then fake my exam results to this really nice woman running the shop kind of thing. Go, I didn't do as well as I hoped, but I did okay, so I can go on to sixth form. And I felt like absolute scum doing it. It was horrible.
But it's nice. It just sounds like you're a nice person that you were like, I didn't do as well as you could have said A stars, really, you know. Yeah,
I didn't want to sort of like set myself up for failure like 2 years hence by like.
But you only had to lie verbally. And so you didn't have to show anything.
No, I was meant to produce some kind of national insurance document or something, which I never did. I kept forgetting it.
Yeah, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. But it just made me feel bad. And it was a little lesson. I thought, I'm not going to behave like that because I didn't like the mental weight of the lie.
Nadine Coyle did that.
Did
Remember? She lied about her age to be in some pop star thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she accidentally gave it away when she said her date of birth.
I did it the other day at breakfast. Well, not about an age, but so I was staying. I've been away gigging, and I was staying in a hotel, and the promoter had paid for breakfast, right? But I had my partner with me, and so I hadn't paid for breakfast.
All them, your lies are about getting extra food,
basically. So I am already doing the game. And so it was. I was just down for one breakfast, but I was like, but I've got 4 breakfast credits on my account. I said, and I wasn't here yesterday because they didn't check the day before. So I was like, right, I know I've got that one I can use up twice. And then he was like, okay. And then he went, have you had this breakfast buffet before? And I went, no, because I couldn't work out if I had been there yesterday or I hadn't. I was like being tripped up by my own. It's like, no. And he just wanted to explain how the buffet works, but I made it really like, no, I don't know if I have. Have I stayed here? Was I here yesterday? I just couldn't work out what I was supposed to say. So I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. Anyway.
How did it go? Did you get arrested?
All right, final one. Then we're going to move on to, we've got a listener's problem, and we've of course got your problem.
Yep, great.
So, when I sold my house, the buyer was such a despicable human during the process. I took great pleasure in removing a few of the brackets out of our kitchen cupboards so they couldn't put any of their things in there without them falling over.
Wait, I don't understand.
So, like, they've taken, like, one bracket out of all the shelves. So, if you put something on the shelf...
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Have you ever done anything terrible to another human being like that?
Set a trap.
Yeah, or like, you know, somebody's upset you, so you've stolen something from their office, or me and my
petty, malicious revenge.
When I used to be an electrician with my dad,
right,
there was a guy who, like, because he did fire alarms, so he'd like putting all around the different offices and stuff. This one guy in the office was used to really always talk down to my dad, and because we were like workers, we were basically like scumbags because we weren't in suits or whatever, and so put a piece of mackerel in the ceiling tile above his office.
Oh, nasty.
So that over time that would rot, and then he wouldn't know where the smell was coming from.
This is bad. You're revealing some bad things on this podcast. It's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine?
Yeah.
I think that's nasty.
Yeah, that's fine.
Poor guy. He probably went mad.
Probably shaved his armpits. Smelling, so he shaved his armpits.
There's a lot of material like that sent in. A lot of fish-based hiding stuff. I don't know how much I've published, but it's a classic one.
Hiding fish.
The one I've done, to my brother was, this is going back so far now into the past. Back in the early 80s, we had this computer called a ZX81. Okay, and so it was like a computer that before discs and the internet, you put games into it by a cassette tape.
Wow.
Going, all the data's like audio together into the machine. And cassette tapes, my brother had said to me one day, whatever you do, don't put magnets on the cassette tapes, Robert. And so the next day I was like magnets all over his cassette tapes and it stopped them loading. Sorry, Duncan.
Are they actual cassette tapes like you'd have?
But what was on them?
Oh, like 3D Monster Maze and Flight Simulator and Best Games in 1K, things like that.
So some good games.
Quality games.
The earliest games I know are Mega Drive.
Yeah, no, it's
you're a scumbag.
10 years previous.
What's
Young
yours?
scumbag.
What did you have?
NES.
SNES.
Duck Hunt. No, NES.
NES?
Yeah, Nintendo.
Oh, right.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Thank
right.
You. Yeah, Duck Hunt.
Excuse me?
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like the ducks come up and you've got a little light gun.
Yeah.
You had a physical gun?
Yeah.
Shoot
I
up
think
the telly like
brown and orange.
Yeah.
Mario
horrible.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably about it. Back then.
I didn't know this about you.
Well, I was a child. I played computer games. Here's the difference. I played the computer when I was a child. Yeah.
He doesn't now. He only plays FIFA, but he's bad at it.
Yeah. Bad at defending, so I've given up.
I just end up playing just crappy games on my phone, like Free Cell.
What's Free Cell?
Like that, a card game where you've got to sort out all the cards, like Solitaire,
Okay.
Just play hours.
You don't do any modern gaming?
I did play a little game for a few weeks the other day, which was all about building bridges. And so you had to place all the, you had to do proper like structural engineering to get the little truck to go to the other side. I enjoyed that.
Oh.
And there's like a nice YouTube video where a YouTube account where this guy who is literally a structural engineer works through all the levels and talks about how the bridge designs work. I recommend that.
I've instead got addicted to watching Gold Hunters Australia.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Is this a TV show? Sorry. Yeah.
But only because I've been in a hotel a lot this week. So, Rob. Do you want to start with your problem, or would you like to answer a listener's problem first?
I'm happy to start with my problem.
Okay.
Okay. My problem related to food. My problem is Scotch eggs. I really, really enjoy Scotch eggs. That isn't a problem, but I probably over-enjoy them. And there's a butcher that I like to go to that serves some of the finest Scotch eggs that money can buy. And they're very expensive. They're like about £4 each. But I like to go in there and order like 2 Scotch eggs. And the other day I went in there and they said, Scotch eggs. And it was like, oh my God, I've got a nickname.
You've become the Scotch egg man.
Yeah, I've got this nickname in the butchers. And I thought I've stopped going in there because I felt like being seen through this lens of only Scotch eggs was somehow belittling and humiliating.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so my problem is like either how do I get over the external gaze?
Have they said? Have you noticed them saying it to anyone else? Any nicknames?
I haven't, but I could.
Boneless chicken.
Sausages. Spatchcock.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
Or how I learned not to care, or how I stop them.
I think it's down to. I mean, how often are you going? If you're buying 2.
Yeah.
How? Like,
well, that might be one
day.
It was probably at my worst. It was probably maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Because I was living very near this butcher's.
Right.
And yeah.
I mean, I would suggest maybe ramping it up so you become so sick of them that you don't want them anymore. Also, is there anything else that might catch your eye in there other than the Scotch eggs?
I sometimes buy sausages and bacon,
but they're not. That's not registering.
But I don't buy it regularly.
Eggs,
Because that's the thing. I'm always drawn to the Scotch eggs. I think they do also sell, but it's too expensive. They sell wonderful tomahawks of beef. They are really good. Yeah.
What about if you went in and you very calmly asked for the Scotch eggs, but then in a quite exuberant way asked for your other order? So then that would over time. It's like Darren Brown, like 2 Scotch eggs and sausages, and then after a while,
yeah.
I could just humiliate myself, so they don't. I could just go in there and shit myself, and then it's like, shitty man.
Develop a Twitch, I don't know.
Yeah.
Get yourself a fun hat.
I could get myself barred from the. I mean, do you ever get barred from butchers?
You could.
Can you talk us through these Scotch eggs? Like, are they runny in the middle?
Runny in the middle.
Of course
yeah. I mean, I don't know how that's achieved. Also, it's like I so worry if like.
Listen, you're creating bots. I don't think you need to worry about like. I think it's much easier to work out how a Scotch egg stays runny than it is to build a bot.
Well, they don't seem to like firm up, and so I'm wondering if someone's injected like an enzyme that stops the protein solidifying.
I think it is literally to do with temperature.
It's only the temperature.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Because
how do you make a Scotch egg? I'm not really familiar.
Well,
with
I've made Scotch eggs, and obviously you just boil some eggs, shell them, press around some mincemeat,
right.
Press around some breadcrumbs, put them in the oven for like 20-30 minutes. Scotch egg. They're not.
And are they classic? Like they're not messing about with like a black pudding or a chorizo?
They do those as well, but I prefer the classic. But yeah, they do offer up a variety of Scotch eggs.
Are you more? Is it that you just don't want to be called? If the shop was empty, and he says Scotch eggs, is that fine, or is it other people hearing?
No, it's purely about. It's not about it being witnessed. It's about the idea that they see me as this, and that yes, then they may have like these series of characters that are coming into their butchers. They've all got names for, and they're all quite limited, because they see us through the lens of the meats that we are consuming.
I've got a quick idea. What about the butcher can you tell me that you remember? Is there like a kind of physical thing that you can remember about the butcher or his mannerisms?
There's a number. Actually, there's a number of people.
Start doing it back is what I'm thinking.
There's a number of people working there, but the particular person who said it to me was a lady actually. And
right.
So
okay.
She's
ladies can be butchers to everybody. Sorry about that.
She's. I'd say she's like 5'2", Italian, dark hair, tattoos on arms. So quite a kind of cool. young, cool hipster butcher, really.
Well, maybe you should go in and be like, hipster Italian butcher woman. You should hit her first.
Is there a name? I'll try that.
If Scotch egg, I mean, it doesn't sound great, but if that was like a character in a Guy Ritchie film,
he would just be murdering all the time, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
and then bite into his Scotch egg after he killed.
Yeah. So maybe if you imagine, because you love Guy Ritchie.
I've never watched a Guy Ritchie film. Never seen one. Never. No. Oh
yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, people might not. They can be quite bad.
Yeah, I just know him as Madonna's ex-husband.
Yeah.
That's it.
You should see the film they did together. It's absolutely the worst.
Oh shit! No, I lied. I did see.
You have seen that.
Guys, that's the only one I've seen because I saw that in the context of I was commissioned to write an article about like worst films ever, and I had to watch a load of terrible films.
Bad, isn't it?
Spirited Away. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Drift
Away?
Don't ask.
Castaway.
Castaway.
I always go silent in the film section.
They're on a boat anyway.
Yeah. It's a very offensive film. Yeah.
Do you feel like any of that has helped, Rob, or do you want to keep plumbing the depths of your Scotch egg nightmare?
I think I just need to get over it and just accept that, I will do the same to other people.
Could you not send someone in on your behalf? Like, when kids hang around outside and go, can you get me some fags? Could you hang around outside the butcher and go, can you get me 2 Scotch eggs?
Are you old enough to get served in there? Yeah.
I'll start doing that, definitely. Yeah. Can you look after my dogs? And can you buy me Scotch eggs? I'll give you a tenner, child.
Okay, so Bilal, I believe you've got a problem that was emailed into the email address, which is
gotaproblemmate@gmail.com.
And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram at gotaproblemmate, or you can use the hashtag GIP, M.
He keeps ruining the hashtags. So the question, we're on TikTok, Instagram.
Are we on TikTok?
Yeah.
TikTok,
Twitter, Instagram.
Is this going to be our TikTok? I was just going TikTok.
That's not going to
Is that how
get
it works?
anything.
TikTok.
Do you use TikTok?
I do, yeah.
We love TikTok.
But I only used it because of like the Fesshole stuff, and I was terrified that the Elon Musk is like breaking Twitter. So I was like, I've got to get the content on I've got to get it on TikTok, and so I've been reading them out on TikTok.
It's going well.
It's all right. It's got 90-something thousand followers.
Okay, I'll follow you, Rob.
Yeah. But it is just me reading them out, and I'm not using my face. I'm just pointing the camera at the
Scotch
text,
egg.
at the Scotch egg. Animated little mouth go. I like women's shoes.
Is that what else they're saying about you in the butchers?
Yeah. It's just one of the most
Going in
common
stilettos.
things that comes in that I don't publish is just men with their horrible sort of shoe fetishes. You know.
So we have a question from a listener. This has come from Sparky Barrett.
Do you reckon that's their real name?
Yeah, Sparky Barrett, real name.
Mark Hughes. He was called Sparky.
Was he called Sparky Barrett?
You were saying you worked as an electrician or something. So
I did. Oh yeah. Can we start calling me Sparky on the podcast?
Sparky Page.
Sparky,
just
Barrett
Spark.
Holmes.
Spark.
It all adds up as a.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah, I'd like a nickname
Sparky.
other than Knobhead. Right.
Sparky Barrett says, I live next door to an old childhood friend's parents. He recently separated from his wife and has moved back in with them. We have absolutely nothing in common anymore, but he keeps knocking on my door.
Yeah, but do you want me to launch in?
Yeah.
Okay, shall I
He
just
needs
go
your
through?
help,
Shall I
Sparky
go through all of my solutions?
Yeah.
Okay. My first solution was the most British solution is just simply move out of embarrassment. Just move house.
That's good.
That'd be what I'd be tempted
Stamp
to do.
duty though.
Yeah. Haven't the Tories have they changed it? I can't remember.
I don't know.
We don't know. We're
Yeah.
very poor.
Yeah. No, it's an expensive solution, but we are assuming by that it's they own the house, which they might do. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe they. Well, the guy that's moved in's moved back into his mum's, so she probably owns the house because, as we know, all old people have got all the houses and they need to fuck off.
Right.
They don't listen to podcasts.
That's the guy, but that's the guy who the guy is the wrong person.
So, but you're assuming, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Okay,
what I'm assuming.
move's useless. Okay, I had the solution of like, okay, the guy who's the problem has he's recently separated from his wife, so he's back at his mum's, probably with a laptop, masturbating himself stupid by this point in time.
Yeah,
Could just be on Fesshole.
He could be. He could be playing with himself on Fesshole. So he's going to have a laptop, and chances are, if he's that committed masturbator, he could have accidentally got incriminating material in the cache of his browser. And so I'm saying, report him to the police as a paedophile. Just get him out of the.
Just get him out.
Get him out. Yeah. Too much.
I wasn't expecting that.
I would say just slip a mackerel in his loft cavity.
You just start a whisper campaign on the local Facebook group that he's been hanging around the school.
I think the way to
do it... You're just horrified.
Yeah.
I think the way to do it is possibly to be... to really inconvenience him. Like, I think you've almost got to be like, yeah, I'll go and see that band with you, or I'll go to that restaurant, and then just not, like, keep standing him up last minute.
I thought you were going to say go and just be, like, awful.
Oh, you could do that also.
Yeah. All the wrong etiquette.
But I would even just not turn up and be like, oh, sorry, something came up at work.
Yeah, be the flaky, unreliable friend. Yeah,
every single time.
Every single time.
I would have no problem doing that.
Yeah, I can be quite cold with people. Yeah, I know. When people make me uncomfortable, I just one word answers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Cheers. I've done that with weird audience members in the past. That usually works.
Okay.
You know, coldness.
What about if they started suggesting that they've got something to do with the breakdown of his marriage? So be like, suggest that he's actually seeing his wife who's booted him out.
So you suggest you're having an affair with his wife.
Yeah, who he's just
and you
separated from.
Tell the police he's a paedophile and leave mackerel in his... What, you got to break in to do that.
You probably...
Well, you said you got a letterbox because that was how you said. It was like feed. Obviously, I'm miming several fish now. Maybe you go back to the butchers. I get rid of the name Scotch Eggs because now I'm fish.
I'm just buying loads of salmon.
Yeah.
They don't do that in a butcher's, do they? Or does yours diversify?
Oh no, the
Fishmongers.
fishmongers over the road. Yeah.
So you'll be getting a nickname in there and a nickname in the butchers.
Salmon
Salmon
boy.
Got any salmon?
What else? I think
I had one here saying, find the wife on Facebook and make her jealous so that she has him back.
Oh, that's good. So
That's quite a sweet one.
Yeah.
That's like a nice film, like The Parent Trap or something.
Yeah.
How would you do?
Well, to make someone jealous, so you got to like tell her that he's moving on, that he's got a lovely new girlfriend, he's going on dates, and then she'd be like, "Oh."
Well, Al's never had two females interested in him at the same time. She doesn't understand jealousy.
So, bantering Joey Page.
But, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's the whole cuckolding thing, isn't it? But it does sort of work. If two people want something, it does make people jealous. That's how to argue people up.
That's the most fun approach.
Right, yeah.
I think.
Or
least malicious.
Send a questionnaire to his address and be like, what of these things annoy you? And then when you get all the answers back, you could
do them.
Yeah. Be like, oh, what's your least favourite food? Paella. And you'd be like, do you want to come around for a paella night? You'd be like, no, I hate paella.
So bad opportunities.
Yeah.
I had one which was like, make your house really unappealing in some way. Like, I don't know. So you invite him in, and like you've got your front room, and you've put up your
cat hair everywhere,
your bad flags of appalling political organisations.
Oh right, okay.
And then you go, come round, and I've got my bad political flags, and we want to play Dungeons and Dragons. So that is like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, give him a bad option
to make him think.
But what if he's into those things and it just strengthens the bond further? That's why I'm saying do a survey, do some research.
Yeah. Find out what he doesn't like.
You don't know what he's into. That's the problem.
Don't know what he's into. There must be a reason why his wife kicked him out. We're assuming he's kicked her out. He could have, but he's left, so he must have done something.
I had an idea that. Have you ever heard of a concept called bibliomancy?
No.
Okay, so in olden days, when people had problems, occasionally they would turn to the Bible. And what they would do, they would flick through the Bible and put their finger down. They'd say the question, put their finger down, and then take the passage from the Bible and see if that gave them insight.
Like a magic 8-ball?
Yeah, like
right.
a magic 8-ball. And I didn't have a Bible to hand, but I did find Roger Moore's sort of like production notes making the film Live and Let Die kind of thing. And I thought that's close enough to a Bible. Okay. So I don't know if this will work, but...
I like this.
So see what we got. And it says... to which I thought I'd said a fond farewell. So he's saying, Roger Moore's just saying goodbye. That might work. Just
keep on saying goodbye.
Farewell. You could try again, see what we get. The second unit had been amongst the swamps of the crocodile farm. So I think it's like the fish one.
Infest the house.
Infest the house with crocodiles. Try one more of that approach. And it says, he just wanted to cry, and I felt the same. So is that just have an emotional breakdown in front of him? So to put him off?
Do you mind if we use this every week? Just bring in a different book.
It's pretty good. We will buy that book off of you.
You can bring Danny Dyer's autobiography that I've got at home.
Yeah, You've got that?
Yeah, I'll bring it in.
You can use it every week, but remember to reference me occasionally.
Of course.
Remember Rob.
And we need to tell everyone to get your book.
It's Rob's Manual. That's what we'll call this feature.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a thing. Rob's Manual.
I had another idea, but I don't know if I could pull it off in here because I don't know if we've got any...
Of course you can, man. Look at the state of this.
What I'm saying is I don't know if we've got any phone signal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I wondered about...
Wi-Fi's not great.
I was like thinking, how can you answer a question? And I was thinking, I opened the fridge and I thought, oh, yeah, on all foods, they've got those kind of helpline numbers where it says like, if you've got a problem with this product, phone this 0800 number. And so I did take some photos of some products that we could... We could call the 0800 number, explain the problem to them, and then see whether they could help us. So you could choose between Colman's mustard.
Yeah, that's good.
Whisker's kitten milk, or Philadelphia cheese.
We're not doing any more cat content on this.
He hates cats.
No, I don't. It just
you're
hate
obsessed
cats,
with cats.
Mate.
So, should we try calling this number to see if it works? You can always cut it out if it doesn't work. Do you want to do it on your phone?
The only thing is mine has got a really bad microphone on it.
Okay. Right. Okay, so we've got to remember this number, 0800.
Oh, I can write the number down.
Okay, so the number's 0800.
If anyone wants to do this at home, it's 0800
281 026. And then I'll try calling it, but I wasn't sure I had a very good signal down here. So
0800. That number again for the listeners at home. We've plugged the Colman's Mustard hotline more than we've plugged the
it's so hard to make a phone call now.
I know.
It's like, where do you even make a phone call on your phone?
Oh, I could see it there.
What do you do? Which button do you just press?
That one.
Oh, it's that one, is it?
Yeah, the one that looks like a phone.
Right, and then you've got to get a keyboard out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
0800
yeah.
281
281
026.
026. Right, so what was the problem again?
Neighbour keeps coming over.
With mustard. We should keeps on bringing over all these mustards.
Welcome to the Colman's Consumer Engagement Centre.
We'll be just on the phone. It's just going to be like in a phone queue now for an hour.
If you are happy for your call to be recorded,
Yeah, we're recording it.
if you would not like your call to be recorded, please press 2.
We're already
You will
recording
always
it.
have the option to pause or opt out for recording.
I'm buzzing about
If you
this.
would like to know how we process your personal data, please visit
They've really been stung on some sort of personal data breach, haven't they?
So this is like a ton of dead
Press
time.
1, I think.
While we transfer you.
Oh, okay.
There are currently 0 consumers in the queue.
There's no queuing.
Colman's are doing so good. No complaints.
We are currently experiencing a high volume.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
Press 1 if you wish to receive a call back. If you want.
Hello, you're through to William at the Unilever Consumer Engagement Centre. Can I start by taking your name, please?
Yeah, it's Rob Manuel here.
Thank you. How may I help you today, Rob?
Hi. I've been having a problem with my neighbour coming round, and I don't want him to come round so much. I wonder if you had any advice for me.
No, I think you might have got the wrong number.
No. I definitely want to speak to Colman's. Actually, I'll tell you the truth here. We're doing a little bit of a podcast, and we're trying to solve readers' problems. And so we just thought of a bit of mess around bit. We'd phone up some consumer helplines. Do you fancy playing along?
No, I do apologise. We can only help with the Unilever product today.
Anyway, I can just say that I'm a big fan of Colman's mustard. It improves my sausages and all my Scotch eggs. Thank you.
Especially Scotch Eggs.
Oh, good. I'll pass that on for
Okay,
you.
great. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Do you think she's going to pass that on?
I don't think she's passing anything on.
Why wouldn't she do it? There was no one else calling.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
At 3:30,
You
she's
could-
getting ready.
You could do the Whiskers one if you want.
She's getting ready to go home, right? And now she's got to run this up the management flagpole because you've got to flag that up.
That he likes.
That's
No,
some
that
weirdo.
that a podcaster's called in, and now she's got a ton of work that she didn't
I've
previously have.
ruined her day, do you think?
Yeah.
I've been a bad person.
Oh, dear.
And then probably what's going to happen is she's going to get stressed. She's going to go home.
Oh,
she's going
God.
to kick her husband out. And now we've multiplied the problem because it's happening somewhere else where some poor guy's
no.
got
Do you
to
think
move in with his
that's
mum.
how it happened
Yeah, I think
originally?
that's
Do you want to
Because of the
phone her
mustard.
back and apologise?
I'd imagine it will just be her. I wonder how often that phone number rings. Like, what would it be
Never.
other than that? Oh, we found a bit of because a man from Norfolk's fingernail in our mustard.
How would you know he's...
Well, that's where it's made, isn't it?
Is
Colman's
it?
Mustard's Norfolk, yeah. You ever
Oh.
seen Alan Partridge?
I do like mustard.
I do like Colman's mustard. It is genuinely one of the finest mustards.
Okay.
Yeah, I just look at where is it made? It says, yep, Great Britain, Colman's mustard, Unilever. Then it actually has a London address as well, and Dublin. It's confusing.
Maybe we'll send them. Maybe we'll send them a copy of the podcast.
Did you have any features to do? Or have we covered everything?
I think we covered
So
everything.
we've done about
Yeah, we've-
52 minutes.
It'd
which
be
is pretty
great
good.
if keep this bit in. Have you time checking the?
Yeah.
Well, wait, do you want to round off with a bit of Colleen Nolan Knows Best?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Rob, what
While
happens
you're
is-
looking that up,
I'm not looking. I've got it ready.
ah,
Why? What?
I'm on tour. I keep forgetting to promote. I'm going on tour around the UK and Dublin.
I'll tell you
I know.
what. While I do all the work, why don't you just promote all the shit you want to promote?
Also, doing a new Edinburgh show in August, but who cares about that? The tour. Need to sell that out. I really do need to sell it out.
Do you need to sell it out, or do you need to get nearly sold out? How?
Nearly sold out's
Yeah.
fine.
Why don't
Yeah.
we invite the people from Colman's Mustard along to the nearest date?
And kittens, Whiskers, kitten milk, all of them.
I'd invite Whiskers kitten milk.
Yeah.
But my cat, she never liked kitten milk. Really?
Okay.
I haven't got them on sale yet, but I'm going to do a show. It's not part of the Edinburgh Festival, but I'm going to do a show in Edinburgh. The tickets should be on sale in a couple of days.
Oh, cool. Can you say where?
Can you name some venues? Is it Frog and something? Frog?
Monkey Barrel.
Monkey Barrel, that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to promote this podcast.
No, don't you need to.
Okay, so to round up today's episode, we are going to do a bit of Colleen Nolan Knows Best. Would also just like to say, if you've even enjoyed 1 single second of this podcast, please like, rate and subscribe it, because it does help us get high caliber great guests like Rob, for example.
I only came on because you had so many likes. Addicted to those likes.
Okay, so we like to read out one of Colleen Nolan from the Nolan Sisters. She's become an agony aunt over on the Mirror website.
I'm in the mood for solving your problems. Do-be-do-do-do-do-do.
I don't know any
Solving
of those songs.
your problems.
I'm clipping that out, and that's going to be the jingle.
That's pretty good.
So, dear Colleen, by the way, these always get, I don't know if you've noticed this, but they always get 4 comments on the comment section, and no more, no less.
Like
There's
the
4
same
again
people,
today.
isn't it?
I don't know. Well,
Do you reckon
so,
it's people who work at the Mirror and they're like,
Almost certainly.
there's like, a little email goes around going, you've got to.
But that shows you how
demonstrate some
difficult it
engagement.
is to get a successful podcast off the ground. Because if the Mirror website is even struggling to get comments in the comment section, what hope have we got as a fledgling podcast? Okay, dear Colleen, I've been in a relationship for 6 months with a really nice girl who is literally the girl of my dreams. I'm 27, she's 25. I feel like that's irrelevant. I always
It's okay because it just says it's not particularly weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I've always thought it's too good to be true. As she's really good looking, and I don't usually do well with women, I feel like I'm punching way above my weight, to be honest. Our sex life is amazing, and we always have a good time when we're together. But I have a feeling she's cheating on me. When we were in bed at mine on Friday, and it was just past midnight, her phone started ringing. She looked at it and put it down, but I saw it was a guy called John. I asked who he was, and she brushed it off by saying he was just an old friend. I asked why she didn't answer and why he was calling so late, and she said he was probably drunk. She said he often calls to see how she is as she suffers from depression. And that's often how you get the hot girls, isn't it, when they're suffering from depression, if you're not a confident man. Apparently, he does too, and they help each other out with that.
They what?
I missed
They
the last
help
bit.
each other out with that.
Yeah.
Right.
She said she didn't answer because she couldn't be bothered talking. Do you think she's cheating? I think she might be, but I don't want to lose her. She says I'm being paranoid and crazy, but I think it's weird that she has a lot of guy mates, and I've never really had a girl mate. Who's right, and what can I do?
Do we have to be Colleen here?
No, well, you can be.
Well,
before I read out what she said.
Yeah.
But what does he think? What? Because she has a lot of guy mates.
Call in late at night. Maybe.
No, but he was annoyed at the end there that she just has a lot of guy mates.
And
what,
he
she
doesn't
thinks
have he doesn't have a girl friend.
How do you not have any friends that are girls? He's weird.
Hates women.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't
I
like
can
this
tell
guy.
you what she's doing.
Go on then.
She has taken up a part-time role answering out of hours the Colman's Mustard Helpline hotline.
It's always John.
There was a
John
tone in
ringing
her
in
voice,
about.
wasn't there?
Just because you don't have any female friends doesn't mean she shouldn't have boys as mates, says Colleen.
Yeah, thank you, Colleen.
You need to be careful if you question her every time the phone rings. It's going to put her off you, and she'll start to feel suffocated and controlled. In fact, she's already called you out for being paranoid, and this is kind of possessive behaviour. And this kind of possessive behaviour is really wearing for a partner. She'll get to the point where she thinks the relationship is too much like hard work and not fun anymore. If you're calling her all the time, I'm not surprised she doesn't pick up every time you call her. So there's so many adverts in, I have to skip it.
Oh, right. Excuse me.
I'll admit, I'm not one for answering phones. I can text all day, but I get sick of talking to people, and I always get picked up on it, says Colleen. So take a step back, focus on enjoying your time together and see where things go. Start to believe in yourself a bit more. She's with you for a reason.
Colleen's advice seems solid, really.
You know what? It
seems all
wasn't
fine.
last time Before it was like a couple of sentences.
Right.
Last time we did it,
I
but
was-
she
I was
actually.
prepared for it
It
to be
seems
that long,
okay. It's
to be
like
honest.
chill out. You know,
Yeah.
relax about it.
Right, we'll round off with the four
The
comments
comments
that the
you
Daily
usually-
Mirror
yeah.
website always has. This one is, "Oh no, you didn't."
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. "I'm dating the girl of my dreams, but now I think she's cheating on me because her phone went off in bed. I specifically told her to turn the damn thing off during our cuddle sessions. Sorry, dude,
Who
but your
says
woman
cuddle
needs to get
sessions?
her shtick together."
What? A shtick?
A shtick.
What?
That's not a phrase. Normally they stick together. I mean, it might be notes someone would say to a comedian. You need to get your shtick together.
Yeah.
But
Couples that get their shtick together, stick together. My mother-in-law chased me around the bedroom. I woke up in a cold sweat. That's another comment. Oh, that's Pirate Cove 2 is back from.
Oh yeah, Pirate Cove 2 comments on all of them. Wait,
but this doesn't seem relevant. His comment.
No,
Is
that-
this-
is
was that
literal.
it?
That's the whole comment.
Is
My
the-
mother-in-law chased me around my bedroom. I woke up in a cold sweat. That got 2 thumbs up.
Are his comments often off kilter, off subject?
no,
No.
that's really weird.
And CLHF has said, "Huge red flag that she describes you as paranoid and crazy instead of trying to reassure you. Get rid ASAP."
I mean, that is always the sort of under any relationship advice. There's always like dump them, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, whatever it is, get rid of them.
Fantastic. Was that all the comments?
That's all the comments
Yeah.
for today.
I like the guy's irrelevant comment, and I just thought, oh yeah, that could be a little project where you just systematically tell a whole story through the comments on the Mirror website, like a sentence a day
Under
and-
each
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. You keep it going for a while, and then no one's going to notice until then. You have to be another party. Go, I found this, and then that would go super viral.
And then once you've pieced the story together,
Yeah.
that unlocks the code to your fridge and you can have your dinner.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get the golden egg. Actually, that was the question I had today. I don't know if it's a problem, but you saw the story about the man stealing 200,000 cream eggs, and I was just baffled by that because it was like, what are you going to do with them? I mean, you can't sell that many eggs because, like, if I was buying some cream eggs, how am I going to want? Like 50 at most. You know, it's not going to be that many.
No.
So you've got to make a lot of
They are
individual
so sickly.
sales. You've got to make a lot of individual sales to get offload that many quality.
I
And
think I know what's
a
going
supermarket's not going to buy
Where
that
was
many
he keeping
dodgy.
them?
I know.
It's
I
just
know
they were
what's
just in
going
the
on here.
lorry. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
Clinton
right.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to launch a new Father Christmas, but it's Cream Egg Man, and it's just gonna in years to come because he's gonna go around leaving on people's windscreens. If you've been a good boy under your pillow, that kind of thing, and then
brown
every
melt
year
underneath your
they're
pillow.
just trying to change Easter into Cream Egg Man
Yeah.
Is that?
instead of Father Christmas. It's like the new Father
Do you have any
Christmas.
sources?
But that's
He wears
Clinton,
yellow.
Clinton cards. Why Clinton
Well,
cards?
because they'll do cards for it, and
Oh,
then I
okay,
realised the
okay,
flaw in
okay,
that is there's
yeah.
already Easter cards, but Easter's not big enough for cards.
Yeah, I've never given anyone an Easter card.
Do they exist?
Yeah.
Easter cards.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Jesus being crucified.
Is that what that is?
Well,
Ah.
Easter. That's what Easter's about. And then he comes back. He comes back though, doesn't he? You know.
3
And
days. is
rabbits
it?
Yeah, yeah.
laying chocolate eggs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of the.
I think it was very good today.
been my-
Proper guest.
it's been my favourite one.
No offense to the other
so
guests.
far.
Proper
Depending on what
guest.
order we put these out in, my favourite one.
I
so
brought in
far.
a format point. Yeah.
Rob, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Please go and get Rob's fantastic book, The Very Best of Fesshole.
Fesshole, and you've got all sorts going on all the time, right?
And if you're up at Edinburgh Festival in the summer, go and see the show.
Well,
No.
it's not part of Edinburgh Festival. It's
Oh, I
just
don't.
part of. It's just going to be in Edinburgh. We're going to do
Okay.
a tour that's like 6 dates or something. And so we're going to do Edinburgh, Manchester, Bristol, not Dublin,
Belfast.
Yeah.
Wow, what a way to
Cardiff.
ingratiate yourself to our
Yeah, I know. I just
Irish
screwed
listeners.
it up. Yeah, I screwed it up. But yeah, we haven't got the dates.
We're in
announced yet.
Manchester,
Yeah.
If you
I'm
remember.
sorry. I'd
That's
have to
right.
go through my notes.
Well,
Yeah.
and so where can people find all this out? Was the best
Well,
to
it's just
go.
if you just follow the Fesshole account on Twitter, then there'll be tour
confession that
There'll
you're
be-
going on tour.
Yeah. But I'll just do it as a pinned tweet when we've got the dates up, you know. So
Nice.
that'll be
Fantastic.
What a fantastic guest. Thanks, Rob.
no problem. Thank you for inviting me in.
Thanks for
you.
coming on. Got a problem, mate.
Got a problem, mate.
Podcast.
What?
GOP, comma.
No.
No? GAP.
That was good.
Yeah.
I started trying to do a theme tune for you, and then I couldn't make it work.
What?
I started trying to make you a theme tune.
I can't believe.
But I didn't then
Well,
record it.
I think I
put
might
so much
replace
effort in.
Bilal with you.
Yeah.
You've done mine and the production of this podcast.
Yeah, but it was sort of like, it'd be like, you remember Can I Kick It? It'd be like, got a problem, mate. I can fix it. Got a problem, mate. He can fix it. Something like that. And then I ended up researching what beat they used. And then it just all went, it sounded bad when I used the same beat. And I gave up.
I feel like a future problem might be like,
but if you
we've got to
invite me
use
back,
this
I'll
theme
do
tune
the theme tune that
You
time.
can come back on at some point.
Yeah.
next week.
But yeah, thanks so much. It was
No problem.
really good.